What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Josh Helm here with Texas Best Construction. We're out here doing what we do best, and that's building barndominiums. And we're back at our King's Barndominium project, where you guys remember we did a full home tour on a build that we did out here. It's a beautiful display for barndominium style living. Well, King's Barndominium got an upgrade. Now we've added a detached man cave shop area where it's more of living finish, so it's not exactly tricked out yet for man cave, but we're going to take you guys through the details on this build. It's a 30 by 40. There's split design. There's 600 square foot of finished living area with 600 square foot of shop area. Additionally, we have a 15 by 40 covered RV parking, which is going to work great for our clients to stationary and put their camper and stuff like that under there whenever they're not using it. We're doing all black like you guys know we did on the main house to match all of that surrounded. Of course, it's got gutters and downspouts and all those things alike. Also, we want to thank today's sponsors for the video, Cooper and Hunter. So we're going to be sharing more details with you about how we tricked this barndominium out with a complete multi-zone air conditioning system. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get it going. So every man cave needs a shop. And here on this build, like I said, we've got a 30 by 40 structure. And for this particular shop area, it's basically divided in half. You got 20 by 30 foot for the shop, giving you enough room that if you needed to park maybe a vehicle in here, you got a little bit of room for that, as well as a lot of side storage to put maybe countertop space or whatever you needed for. Now, a little bit of history on this build and why you're seeing a little bit of different type of framing here, because we've got our standard steel purlins and then we've got 2 by 6 studded wall. Well, initially the client had planned for this to be a lot smaller. So we were going to have more living than we were shop. And once he saw the spacing, he decided he wanted to move that back. And that's the reason why we've got 2 by 6 studded walls here. And there's actually zip system as well on the other side of this. No harm, no foul. We were able to move the wall after a framer framed it. And it obviously feels a lot better, works a lot better for this space. It doesn't really change anything for the efficiency other than just certain part of it you have wood, the other part you have metal. Now, if the client wanted to be done with all that, he could resurface this here pretty easily and put additional OSB, plywood, or something along there to line all that with, so no problem. Now, additionally in here, this is 12 foot eave height. So we've got 12 foot, and then we should have like a 312 pitch on this. We've got some LED disc lights in here, which put off a lot of bright lights for a space like this. We've got a 10 by 10 overhead door, giving you plenty of space for getting a full-size truck in here that might have some materials or whatever on it. So now let's go inside. I'm going to show you guys the man cave or the living area. Okay, y'all come on, let's check it out. So our living area here is a 20 by 30 foot area. We've got 20 this way, 30 foot this way. We have 12 foot eaves and a 312 pitch, meaning it adds about 5 or 6 foot to the peak, giving us about a 17 foot alt here at the center peak of this, which means we do have a lot of reverberating sound in a build like this, where it is a pretty good echo because we have our stained concrete floors and our finished sheetrock on the surface areas. Now, you have to use your imagination in a place like this, because what could you really use this for? We've got our shop area, we've got this finished big open space here, and we have RV parking here on the side. But one of the things you could do with a space like this is, if say you had your RV, you could live out of your RV, and then you could use this as your living space or flex space for the build while you were maybe say building your main home front. So this would be a great way to do a setup, and I think that's what a lot of people tend to do. Now here, I'm not sure about the specifics about what they're going to do, if it's going to be more of an office or if it's just going to be just additional flex space for the guy, because there's a pretty large house. I don't know if you guys saw the tour or not of the King's Barndominium. It's a pretty large house on the front side, over 4,000 square foot, a lot of bedrooms as well. So here, this is going to be a flex space. Maybe some friends coming over to hang over, family in for holidays. This would be a good place for that. So we also have natural light, which is a 4 by 5 foot large Anderson style windows. Very, very energy efficient. These are some of the better ones that we use routinely. Now, one other advantage from having your connection here between your shop and the living is you do have accessibility to this shop restroom. So that's always a big plus. I always tell people in your shop, you know, it's really good, especially if you're using it for, say, parties, to have a place like this, because you don't want them to have to go up to the main house. So here we've got a pretty simple layout, but it's pretty sizable too, with a handicap sized door, 3-foot opening. We've got a typical 3-foot vanity with the undermount rectangle sink and simple hardware here, black mat with a framed mirror and a 3-bar light here at the top. And then in this big open area, we have a windmill fan and our climate controlled HVAC. So this is our mini splits with the Cooper and Hunter. These are the Olivia series, which I really like because it's like a black unit. A little bit different, but it looks really good, I think, with the black hardware, fans, windows, all of that throughout, having matching hardware. But we did this in our office space where we've got black walls and it blends in really nice. So if you wanted to do a darker accent wall, maybe using the Olivia series is the way to go. Additionally, what is a mini split system? It is a variable speed unit, meaning that it can ramp up to maybe 700 speeds at different occasions, because mostly what it's doing is it's actually dehumidifying. So you're removing a lot of the humidity out of the air. A unit like this will work for you, and you want it to run probably more than not, because it will sit there and pretty much do the climate control for the whole area. That's the advantage of having a variable speed, is it's pulling all that humidity out of the air, which gives you a little bit more comfort for your overall living space. The last thing you want to do is just blast air somewhere, because then you could still have moisture or condensation, because as soon as the air changes, it just cuts off. And so a variable speed unit means that that can actually ramp up and ramp down when it's needed. Now here we have 18,000 BTUs in total, 9,000 on each side. Originally, the living space was going to be a little bit bigger, so we actually oversized these units for the 20 by 30 area. What that means is, if you wanted to comfortably, you could open these windows or the door into the shop space, and you could add air conditioning now into that area. Imagine you could just turn the fans on, having a big party out in the shop, flip that on, open the doors, and air conditioning. So that's one huge advantage for maybe oversizing your system like this in your man cave. Okay, so just off of this living space, we have a conveniently located RV parking, which gives you a lot of versatility for coming and going outside of your living area. And additionally, this is 15 foot by 40 foot long, which gives us a lot of extra parking maybe for your vehicle if you needed a little bit extra room. Now this, I wanted to show you guys, this is a typical setup for a mini split system. No matter what, you've got to have your interior wall heads, but you also have to have a condenser outside. This is how you're basically removing a lot of that hot air out of the interior and bringing it through the copper lines out here, which is pretty much dumping a lot of that out and pulling any of the humidity as well through our condensation lines. But your typical setup is you're going to have this fan, which this is a variable speed unit, meaning that it can ramp up and ramp down at certain levels when it needs to run a little bit higher. And then here's your power, and then here's where your copper condensate lines comes out on the into the unit itself. So this is a typical setup for the Cooper and Hunter, or for any mini split installation that you might need to do. Okay, well, that's going to conclude our tour for our 30 by 40 shop man cave that we built here at the King's Barndominium. And we want to thank our sponsors for today's video, Cooper and Hunter, who always provides great quality materials for us on these projects, and it's a great operating system as well. We've got all this running in our office space as well as on many of our builds in the past. You guys have seen us use these systems. It's not just wall mount systems, but you can do slim duct systems, you can do ceiling mount systems. There's all kinds of variety of different products that you can use with Cooper and Hunter. And we've had a good partnership with them over the years, and we would definitely recommend you check them out. We'll put some more information in the description below. Now, for some of the other better news that you might want to hear about this particular build, what does it cost to build a man cave shop like this with all of these setups? Well, the best we can do is kind of talk to you about real-time costs for today. We can't tell you what it'll be 5 years from now or a few years from now if you're watching this at a later point. But for today, if you're trying to build something like this with the capacity of insulation and the finishing levels that we went to for all the interior, the zip system, everything that we do on the outside of these builds, as well as insulation, all of the finished work that we do with the electrical on the shop areas, and then the added lean-to, this is around $120,000 to $140,000, somewhere in that general range this could cost you. Now, some of your variables are going to be how much living, to what capacity of finish you go through, to what floor finish, all of these other kind of things. But hopefully that gives you a general idea of what something of this size might cost. So for those of you that are looking for more information to build and you're looking for a floor plan, check out our bestbarndoplans.com, where we've got over 50 plans available for barndominiums, as well as if you're looking for a free quote on a plan that you might already have, you can find that at barndoquote.com. Don't forget to check out our website at texasbestbarndo.com. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We've got a lot more coming, guys, so you gotta stay in tune and ring the bell. That way you get notified whenever we post a new video. So I'm Josh Helm, wishing you all the best. Thanks for watching. Texas Best.
Oh yeah, Texas Best.